What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back. Listen, I want to get a few things out the way. First of all, I know this is going to be overexposed because I'm shooting into the light, but I don't give a fuck because I'd rather you have a cool visual of some green than have it be from my bedroom and have it be perfect lighting. So it's not going to be perfect lighting, but life ain't perfect, as I found out this past week in Macau. So let's get into it. I spent the last week in Macau, China, which happens to be the gambling capital of Asia. Was not by choice. When I was getting my visa in Malaysia, so this is now in July, maybe 2 months ago or so, I went to Georgetown. I went to Penang in Malaysia. It was a blast. One of my favorite spots I've ever been, traveled to. Food was good. People were cool. It was relatively affordable. It was beautiful. It was amazing. But to get your Thai visa, you have to have proof of an onward flight ticket. So my dumbass actually goes and buys a flight ticket, not knowing that the dude probably doesn't even check for the flight ticket. So I find the cheapest ticket that I can, which happens to be, as you've guessed it, you saw it coming, this flight to Macau. Fortunately, I was able to have the foresight to buy the flexible ticket, but my plane was to refund it. I thought if you bought it within 24 hours, you could refund that joint. Boom, no harm, no foul. Come out, find the next day when I tried to refund it, Air Asia was like, oh no, that's only to like 3 places you can refund it. So no refunds. So I was like, God damn it. Anyways, took that L, but extended my time in Thailand for 90 days, which is crazy. I can't believe I've already been out here since that last visa run for 3 months because time flies out here. I'm in a vortex. And pushed the ticket to then be this past week. So maybe a month ago at this point, when I realized that my flight to Macau was coming up, I did what I assumed was the right move and booked a Airbnb out a little ways away from the airport. So you have Macau. I didn't realize this. It's 2 islands. And then it looked like it was the very top of the North Island. And I was like, cool, we're straight. So prepare for my trip to Macau. I knew a little bit about it. I'd done some research. I was like, I'm going to go out there and just see some free sites, walk around, do my typical kind of Kia shit where I walk around and look at stuff, take pictures, and enjoy my bad self for a couple of days instead of just a quick overnight visa run. So, but keep in mind, since it's the cheapest ticket, the flight times are wonky. So it's not like I'm like getting in at a nice time. I leave Chiang Mai at 9 p.m. and I arrive in Macau I leave at 7 p.m. and I arrive at 9 p.m. So I get in around like 9:15, 9:30. We land in Macau. Flight was good. It's all gravy. Pretty low key. It was like, took a little nap and I was there. What more do you want? So pop up in Macau. It's nighttime now. I go downstairs. Boom, boom, boom. Do some currency exchange, which is crazy, by the way, because the currency exchange was 12. It's 12. I think it's like Macau Pataka or something like that. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. YOLO. You get whatever these are. It's 12 to 1 for US. But then, so I withdraw, I think I withdrew maybe like 400. And then when I looked at my bank account, it ended up being like $75 or something. They fucked me on some exorbitant fees. So I'm already like pissed off. So I'm like, okay. So I look at the bus schedule and I let the Airbnb host know. I was like, okay, I just landed. I'm on my way up. They're like, cool. So again, keep in mind, I'm on the South Island. They're 2 islands and they're connected by these 2, big highways that kind of go, they're parallel to each other on opposite sides of the islands that connect them. And so I'm on my way up there on the bus. I'm tired. If you know me, you know I go to bed early. I'm a grandpa. So I'm in grandpa mode. I got my stuff, half asleep, whatever. And we end up getting to the spot. And when I get off the bus, something already seems a little fishy because there's a shitload of people there. And I'm like, what is going on? I'm like looking around. It feels like Port Authority. I feels like I'm back in New York. I'm on 42nd Street. It's just like a ton of people flooding into this place. So I go up to a person who's working outside, and this young man. I was like, "Hey, man, what's going on?" He's like, "Oh, this is customs." He's like, "This is to get to China, you got to go through customs right here." And I didn't realize, because looking at the map, my Airbnb is like pretty much, it's like right there. Like I can see it. Like I couldn't actually see it, but you know what I'm saying? It's like I could throw a rock probably and hit it. I'm like, oh my God. So I go into this big station, all these people. It's probably 10:45 at this point at night. And it's like you're at the airport when you got to go. When I arrived, I assumed I got a visa on arrival. It was like a little slip of paper that says, like, when you arrive, you have 30 days, et cetera, et cetera. But they never stamped my passport. So that was automatically a little suspect, a little sus. I probably should have known. Where then I'm like, oh, shit. So I get into the customs line. I come up. And obviously the guy looks at my passport. He's like, where's your visa? And I was like, ha-ha. You want to give me a free couple of days? He's like, nah. He's like, you need to go to the office. They close at 11. Go check it out right now. So I'm like, oh, man. So I hop in. I run across the hall. They're closing up shop. It's these two guys. They look super tired. It's 11 p.m. They're like, why are you here? I come in. I'm like, hey, I'm here for a visa. And they're real stingy with it, right? In Thailand, you come over, bop, they hit you with a quick 30 days. Oh, here, boom, take that, 30 days on us. You go to Indonesia, they're like, boom, here's 30 days. You go to, when I went to Malaysia, they're like, boom, here's 90 days. So as a U.S., I'm spoiled already because having that U.S. passport, I'm used to just popping up and getting a free 30 to 90 days, which I know is such a privilege. But they were not feeling the boy. They're like, no, that's $1,000 for a 3-day passport. That's $1,000 in Macanese, whatever's. But that was still way too much for what the boy was looking to pay. So I was like, I guess I'm going to sleep in the airport. Which I sound like I'm joking, but I'm not. I pretty much, because in case things went weird, I packed to sleep in the airport. But I had already traveled for like an hour on the bus. It's 11. I don't feel like fucking going all the way back down to the damn airport. Just like go into departures and sit down. To keep it totally a buck with you, I would have. Time was not an issue. It was so cold in that damn airport that I brought long pants. I brought my big towel to use as a blanket, and I still think I would have froze my ass off. I was like, I'd rather pay money to sleep somewhere shitty just so I don't have to be that cold. So I go back into the city. I ask a couple people. They point me towards this like really shitty hostel, which I don't mind. Shitty hostels are my jam if it's $5 a night. If it's $8 a night, I'll take a shitty hostel. $10 a night. Nah. This was a shitty hostel and it was like $30, which don't judge me because I know that doesn't sound like much. But in my little jaded Thai ass self, that's like an arm and a leg. So I'm expecting something that has more than just paper thin walls. But you get what you get. So I ended up posting up there for both the day, both nights, and learned real quick that Macau, aside from, it was interesting because it has this Portuguese influence to it. So I also realized here I'm spoiled because I ride my bicycle around. It's so flat, you can bike everywhere. There though, it felt very, it felt just like it was super. You could see the European influence, and it was super hilly in the architecture, but it was also kind of a mindfuck because it was all Chinese. So I had a blast walking around and stuff, but getting around was also a bit of a pain in the neck. So you can probably, if you want to go to Macau, it's cheap, except the hotels aren't cheap, but you can get around pretty easily, and you can probably see it all in a weekend. Like, I saw one island the first day, walked around, saw the cool stuff, and then went to the second island the second day, went down to the coast, explored. I found this, like, off in like the coast. There's either like a little prison or a training facility, one of the two. And so that was pretty cool. I just had a little bit of a Kia adventure. But if you're gonna do a visa run, I would highly recommend Penang in Malaysia. I got a visa agent. I can even tell you who it is. Hit me up, send me a DM, slide in the DMs. I'll hook it up. And it was cheap, and just there was a lot more to do. It was just a lot more fun. Where in Macau, because unless you like to gamble, but since that's so far from anything that I'm remotely interested in, wasn't a great match. The whole trip, it felt like it was one of those trips where everything is kind of fucking you in a weird way. And I had the epiphany before I came over to Thailand. Everybody's like, Kia, you better be wary because traveling's hard. You know, like, don't forget traveling's hard. This isn't New Zealand because I'd only been in New Zealand before. They're like, don't forget traveling's hard. I'm like, okay. Traveling ain't that hard. What's hard is traveling with no money. Because if you got bread, I had this epiphany that all the stressful shit all boiled down to money. Because then you have to worry about finding good flights, which takes a lot of time and research. And I found an amazing app for booking flights. Hit me up on that. I just got a round trip to New York for $5.90. I'll take it. So, but because I'm stingy as fuck, all that adds stress of then what's the best transportation, because you don't want to get ripped off at the taxi. How do I find the best flight ticket because I don't want to get ripped off by the airport? How do I find a hotel, because etc. What about food, etc. You get the point. That if you have just money to blow, traveling's it's a walk in the park. With a smartphone, you can do just about anything, get anywhere, translate anything, buy anything. So it's really that's not the issue. If you have a decent head on your shoulders and know what's going on around you and have done maybe a little bit of planning beforehand, which I need to take my own advice, maybe do more next time, it's not that hard. Getting the visa, that wouldn't have been stressful at all. If here, take $1,000. Boom, I'll take the 3 days. But since I'm not, it adds this whole layer of complexity to the whole traveling thing, which I think a lot of travelers are in the same mentality of trying to pinch pennies, which is very doable, but that's where a lot of the anxiety comes from. And so speaking about money too, and about generating income, is I realized there's all this traveling that I want to do. I want to go to India, I want to go to Indonesia, I want to go to South America. I was toying with the idea of bouncing to Medellin after the holidays, but I realized that for me right now, I need to, and this is a traveling Kia update for anybody who cares. I need to focus on building the business right now, because that's my pivotal focus. If I can get to where I'm pulling in a couple G's pretty easily every month, that opens up a whole layer of options where then I don't have to be teaching English online, and I don't have to be quite so stressed about getting Wi-Fi everywhere so that I can teach classes, or getting Wi-Fi so I can do this and that. Like, it just eases it up where then I can do my work, I can make my music, I can, when I need to connect to Wi-Fi, I can send my emails, do my consulting, whatever, but it doesn't have to be quite so intense. So right now the plan is I'm going to stick around in Chiang Mai until the holidays. I'm bouncing, and excited to go home, see the fam, eat some good food, and then I'll be coming back. Really? Air Asia knows I'm talking shit about them, so they want to fly over right now while I'm recording. Yeah, you heard me. What's up? What's up? But I'm gonna stay here. I'm sticking around. I know I was talking to a couple people about maybe Medellin, and I really want to go to South America. I really want to go to Mexico. So many places I want to go. But when I boil it down, if I'm working on my dream of being Dr. Dre someday, of Anderson .Paak, his album's coming out November 16th or 13th. Shout out Anderson. I need to focus and build this shit. And another thing that I'm doing right now is I've been getting great responses about the beats. Is I'm focusing on 2 places. One is on video makers. So if you make video, give your boy a shout. I possibly have some beats for you. I want to do a thing where I send beats either every week or every month for free to video and content creators that want original music. And also enjoy the taste of music that I make, because I found I don't love making beats for clients unless they want to pay me a lot of money. But that's not where my heart is not in making beats for people specifically necessarily. Unless I'm like really motivated, I don't just want to make something just for a quick buck. I'd rather teach my English classes and really just buckle down and make the music that I want to make. And maybe I've been listening to too many Seth Godin podcasts about marketing, but I'd rather find, instead of making these kind of like shitty piano stock loops to try to appeal to these music libraries to make money, I'd rather buckle down, focus, make music that I love, that I find inspiring, that puts me in a state of flow every day, and then find the audience that fucks with that. So it's kind of a different approach to the business thing, to the whole model. And that's really what I'm focused on right now, is building out that sound and finding what inspires me. And so I'm doing a challenge right now. It's a 30-day challenge where I make a beat every day for 30 days. And I'm almost out of time, so I'm going to wrap this up. Make a beat a day for 30 days. And right now I'm really inspired by lo-fi stuff. Think Knowledge, think Stolen Drums, think Dilla, that like swung, just all over the place, crazy hi-hats type of thing. So if that's your vibe and you need those beats, give me a shout. I'm really excited to take this thing to the next level. I have all these ideas, and I think finding video makers that like the sound could be an awesome potential revenue for business. And then also finding musicians that really resonate with that, because I realize I like the trap stuff, but it doesn't really do it for me. And maybe down the line it will more, but just where I am right now, you get one life. I moved out here to pursue what I love. I'm doing the damn thing. I feel so blessed every day. I get to wake up and do, work on my business. And so if I am going to build a business for me, and if I want this to have longevity, then it needs to be something I can believe in. I realize I only feel shitty and salesy when I'm trying to sell stuff that I don't actually fully stand behind. So I want to make a product I fully believe in, I feel good about, that I can promote, and that way it's not actually sales, because I actually feel that there's a benefit to it. So I'm just I can stand behind something that I made that is actually me, and I don't have to worry about what kind of crazy sales copy. I don't have to convince you for anything, because it is something I truly believe in. So that's where I am. That was Macau. If you want travel advice for visa runs, give me a shout. If you want flight advice, give me a shout. If you need beats, give me a shout. You know where to find me. We out here for real. Thank you for tuning in. As always, I got more soon to come. Going to be doing these little updates more often. I got some cool stuff going on too with the Ableton adventure. Going to maybe try to teach some classes on that. So if you're interested in learning Ableton, give me a shout. We out here. Thank you for tuning in. Peace.